Looking around her, Hilma sees a home. Not much of one yet, but by every means, the start of one. She now has a bed, a chest of drawers, a nice fireplace, and all of her other tools brought up here. All of her supplies were still strewn around the cave. That's something that she wanted to fix as soon as possible. Having a tidy workspace, having everything where it should be, makes work so much easier. And so while it will take a fair amount of resources, Hilma's gonna try her best to make the shelves and crates that she'll need to keep everything stored where it should be. Kia ora, Legionnaires, Rycon here, and welcome back to Cataclysm Innawood. First things first, I've got the spinning wheel up here. It might not look like it, but that is indeed a spinning wheel. We still don't have an icon for that yet, but that's the spinning wheel. And the way I got it up here was by smashing it. I took the pick to it, got angry, smashed it, and we only lost one thread. And we only lost one long string in that whole process. So yeah, I did have to make another one, but it meant that I could just rebuild this up here. So that's great. The other really good thing is that making it actually increased our mechanics skill to level 3. You can see that our theoretical and our practical knowledge has increased. And I'm pretty sure that we didn't have mechanics level 3 before, because there's a lot of stuff here that's new for us. And thank you to those of you in the comments who have pointed out that we can hit U to show the unread recipes first. So under weapons, we have pipe staff, pipe mace, great pipe mace, and a few other goodies, pressurized chemical tanks and whatnot. Okay, interesting. Now, a lot of these things here are, actually, those are from Mechanics Level 3, but some of the other things are just added in as the game has been updating. Under food, we've got sourdough, honeydew, gastropod, mollusks, and okay, neat. In electronics, we have a water purifier. In armor, drop leg bags, garter, double sheath, or double? Could be double. A small concealed garter, double knife, worn on the thigh, commonly used by overly cautious assassins under a skirt or dress. Kind of fun. Also a garter sheath, a small leg purse, throwing knife sheath, an ankle wallet pouch. I mean, good stuff if you're gonna kind of be a little bit more roguish. And under other, we've got rail wheel, a bottle jack, turret mount, and vehicle controls. So yeah, Mechanics 3. We've got a few things there, huh? We can also make those door hinges now as well because of the chunks of steel that we've got. But you know what? I'm happy with what we have so far. You might notice that we can actually make sheet metal, and that's something that I'm intrigued to do because we could make a brazier for ourselves, plop it down here or here, and that would provide a fair amount of light. We could use the fireplace for heat still, and I feel like that's probably the best thing to use that for, but having a brazier for light is probably going to be the best way for us to light this place up because, well, as you can see, the oil lamp doesn't light it up all that much. The other thing that we might be able to use are candles. Candles might provide a little bit more light, but until we make one, we won't know. Having a look at candles here, they don't actually take that long to make. We just need to have a smoker or something like one, which is probably worth us making one up here. And it looks like we're going to be using lard, and we do still have some lard downstairs that we could use. So, you know what? I think that's going to be the first thing that we work on. I would like to get a smoker up here just so that we have access to one. Yeah, I think that'll be the way that we do it. These spots over here, I think they will probably use them for storage. I'd like to have like our tools close by. So yeah, we'll probably go and chuck down a smoker just to the side here so that we can use that for heating purposes. Oh, well, that's some good news. I just popped outside to grab some charcoal and those cattails are fully grown now. Good to see. So obviously it's going to be worth us planting a whole heap of them again as soon as we can. It's going to be too cold to plant them right now, but as soon as it starts to get a little bit warmer, we're going to plant as many of them as we can because we're going to have a lot of seeds after this harvest. Yeah, we will be leaving them for the time being though. As for our charcoal over here, we've got 5,000 outside. I'm going to go and bring maybe 1,000 of that inside. Let's put 500 into our newly built smoking rack. Leave that pack on the ground for now, and we'll put the rest of it into our charcoal forge here. 540, excellent. Now I've gone and made some basic mutant tallow. That's what we're going to use for our candles here, and as you can see, we can make a fair few of them. We don't get any time saving from it, so we'll just make one candle for now. We'll use the sinew rather than the thread. I still feel like that's going to be better. And then let's grab a hold of that thing and see how that's going to work. So let's turn off our oil lamp, first of all, just so that we're in darkness. We are going to light up this candle. And yeah, unfortunately, the candle doesn't provide us too much in the way of light. We just still get this one square, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I was hoping that we'd get a little bit more from it. But then again, it is just a candle. I can't expect too much from it. Yeah, we just get that single square of light. So if we are going to want to have this area lit up, we're probably going to have to make a brazier and maybe pop it down here, and that should light up most, if not all, of the area around here. At least that's my hope. That's my hope there. So for that, we are going to need sheet metal, which we've got the resources for at the moment. 5 hours, so it's a decent time sink, but it's one that we can get done, and honestly, I'd like to, just to see if the light is going to be our friend here, and hey, if it's not, we can always disassemble or break apart the brazier after we're done with it. And we're starting to slow down. We're extremely wary at this stage, so we're probably not going to get much more of that done. We're just going to have something to eat. Let's go check on the time of day. It's still probably it's quite early on. So to finish off the day here, the sun has actually ended up setting. I just went and chopped down this old hickory root tree. There's only one tree trunk that we've got from it. We're not going to worry about chopping that up now because, again, we are not feeling too good. We'll leave that for another time when we've got energy to spare. For now, we're going to head inside, have some dinner, get some sleep, and then we're going to continue working on that sheet metal in the morning. We've had our dinner of berries and a dash of tallow. Let's call it a night, Hilma? And it's good to see that we can still sleep comfortably in here. Even though it's cold outside, underneath this blanket, we are feeling good. So we'll drink some of our clean water that we have sitting in the fire over here for now, and we'll have our breakfast of dehydrated meat and some berries to boot. Okay, let's get that lamp lit up, reload it, and we'll continue working on the sheet metal. There we go, and we actually started getting rather cold there. Both our hands, it said our feet as well, but our hands are looking the coldest out of everything. We'll drop that sheet metal onto our desk here. Got nothing else to wear on our hands for now, so you know what, just for a little bit of extra warmth, we're going to go and get a fire going. Lovely. Temperature's going to start to rise in here, that's great. Now, time to make a brazier. It's only going to take us 31 minutes to make the thing. Let's get that done. Okay. I think we'll have to wield this probably. There we go. Now, the only issue with the brazier is that it does create a bit of smoke, so we want to be wary of that. We'll deploy it over here for now. Okay, so I guess moment of truth. We're going to see how much light we can get from this thing. Drop a log into the brazier, start a fire. Okay, it gives us about the same amount of light that we would get from a fireplace. Yeah. I was really hoping for something closer to a torch, but hey, what can you do? What can you do? Ah, dear. Do you know what? There is something we can do, and this might be a little bit more long-term, but we could always have a look at making some windows. Whether or not that's a good idea, I don't think it's a great idea. Because obviously that's a vulnerability that can be exploited by large dinosaurs, and saying that they shouldn't actually be able to climb through a window, so I'll think about that. It'd be great if we could just kind of carve like embrasures in stone, because that would allow a little bit of light to get in, and it also allows us to attack back through it. And I know that there are some walls in which you can do that. Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, stone wall with embrasure. So it's totally possible for us to do. The mortar is still a bit of an issue for us though. Yeah, we can't do a rock wall, which is like the super simple one. We could do a wood wall with an embrasure, or a log wall, which would still have a fair bit of, protection to it. And if we were to do that, knocking out this wall would probably be the best one to do that on. It means that if we wanted to, we could always jump up here and attack something on the other side. That's the whole idea of an embrasure. I'm also assuming that it would allow light in as well. Regardless, we have experimented with the brazier. I will see if we are able to take it apart afterwards, but at the same time, the brazier is something that we can kind of just like drag around as we need it. We'd still be able to get light from it if we were to plop it just down by our door. And here's the thing, the brazier isn't a terrible tool for us because we can actually use this in our defense. Early on in Bran's Tale, we would use the brazier to great effect because fire does really mess with your enemies. And I feel like it might even frighten some as well. So if we were able to put the brazier like out the front of our door or to the side or something like that, if something was to try and fight us, we could lure them onto the brazier to fight. That's an option, something that we can consider. But for now, yes, I am going to try and see if we can focus on making some large containers, which in this case are going to be crates. And so we effectively have options when it comes to this, either 2 large wooden sheets or 4 wooden panels. So we don't actually have an option to make large wooden sheets, so we'd have to go for the panels. And for us to be able to make 4 of those, it's going to take, at least 2 lots of nails for us to make and a fair amount of planks. So really, we wouldn't want to have more than 1 of these. And I think that's okay. I think we'd want to have at least 1 crate just for our general storage. And for tools and all the rest, we could end up making something that's more like this, a cupboard, something that doesn't need to have 1,000 liters worth of storage. So yeah, we are going to have to try and make some more nails. We're going to have to cut some more planks, but that's something that Hilma most certainly can do. We're going to start off with nails. It's going to take us a while, but we're going to get it done. Right now, we just need some planks, so let's get it chopping. We're going to do this 3 times here. And there we go. Moderately tired now as we are. I believe at this stage that should be everything that we need. Panels, okay. Yep, 4 panels. Let's put them together. Excellent, that's that. And now for construction, build a crate. So we're gonna plop it down there and bam, we have a full-blown crate. Decent construction work that's gone into that. So now I need to decide what is going to go into here, and it's mostly going to be spare parts. For things like our ores and all the rest, we are going to be kind of keeping them separate, more kind of towards the side here. There's a whole heap of soil downstairs as well. We don't need to have access to that soil until we need to do big construction work. So I'm going to start by doing a little bit of organizing. I am just noticing now the way the categories work isn't exactly going to work out for us here because like rocks and logs and stuff like that, they fall under the other and spare part categories. So I'm going to have to sort everything out here manually. And you know what? That's okay. It's just going to take a little while. Right, well, it took a little while, but things are certainly looking better. In the end, I did take apart the brazier just because it wasn't really doing enough for us. And thinking about it, if we were to try and light a fire in a hurry, we wouldn't be able to do it in a hurry because it does take us a little while to use our fire drill to get a fire started. So as a defense mechanism, it's not going to really work out for us. I think the next thing that I'm going to want to try and do in here is knock down these 2 walls here so that we do have a pathway to our downstairs that isn't going to take much, if anything, to make it down there. It's just going to make the process a lot faster. However, we are very weary at this stage. We've done a fair bit of work and it's still early on in the day. So, we could just try and do some wood chopping. It's never a smart idea to do while we're very weary, but it's still a okay use of our time. We've actually got 2 logs that we can chop here. We'll go for this tree trunk first. And there we go. We still got some logs out of it. We are extremely weary at this stage, so we're going to head back, have some late dinner, and then we'll settle down for an early evening, I say. Something that I've got to watch out for at the moment is our water freezing. Our clean water that is in our sealed stomach has completely frozen. We do still have the clean water pot in here at the moment, which is going to stay nice and warm. But we're going to have to start heating up our water source to be able to drink throughout the day. It's that creeping cold. Okay, well, we wake up and we were actually getting quite cold over the night there, so it looks like we might actually have to have a fire going during nighttime. We're going to get one started now. We're actually doing really good in the wood department at the moment. Oh, really I guess the bowfire drill's done already. Thankfully we do have 2 up here, so we're good for a little while longer. put that one away. We'll go grab some food from downstairs for us to use for the day, but the first thing that we're going to be doing is taking out those two there. You know what? We could just eat what we've got and then chip our way down. Yeah, let's go for that. And with bronze pick in hand, let's get a whack in here and see how this goes. We are going to dig through rock. We're going to dig through this rock here, and we very quickly whack our way through that. We're in minimal pain. I think it's because of the cold here. Yeah, we're certainly feeling it this morning. You know what? Maybe we'll go chuck on that leather cloak of ours just for a little bit of additional warmth across the board. Torso's looking fine. As always, it's our mouth and stuff like that, so we might want to have a look at making a scarf before too long. What did we get out of that? Okay, we did get some resources. I'm on board with that. Let's chip away a little bit more of this rock here. Okay, there we go. It looks like it was just rocks that we got from that one. We'll gather things together. Unfortunately, both these piles are pretty much full, but now we've got a nice clear path to down there. And you know what? If we want natural daylight during the day, we can just pop over here to get some of that daylight. You can see that we actually lose a little bit of sight here, and that's because of the natural moonlight that's just filtering down through there. It's the way that, you know, our night sight works in this. When we are near a source of light, we're not going to be able to see far past it. You know what? While we're here and while we've got the pick in our hand, we might just go and smash that down for the time being, just so that we can get some resources back from that. And we'll just drag them on down and drop them into our crate here, which can still fit a lot more in the way of resources in there. Actually, you know what? We were able to fit it all in this little second pile here, so happy about that. Ryan still seems to be pretty content here. You know, he does have a little bit of daylight. I am hoping, of course, that we are going to actually be able to fit Ryan through our makeshift door. I probably should have thought about that, but you know what? It was easy enough for us to put together. If we need to break it to get him out, that's something we can most certainly look at doing. Well, you know what? Something that I think we probably should look at making here is a fur scarf for our mouth. Our mouth getting cold is no good for us because that's just going to bring our head down in terms of the damage it takes. It's not going to be something that we wear all the time, but it's going to be good for us to have it around. We'll go and use that candle that we've got at the moment to give us some light to work by. So, let's get to work. And there we go, we start getting very warm as day is here, and we can see that very easily now just from over in that spot. And there's actually hot air all around here, so the fire is actually being super efficient in terms of how it's heating up the area around us. We can probably go and take our cloak off for now. Let's just see what else is warm. Yeah, it was probably our torso and everything else. So let's chuck on the first scarf and we'll see if that's causing us any issues. I'm not seeing any issues there other than the fact that our mouth is now like super hot. We can loosen it a little bit there, and that means that it's not going to be providing as much warmth, but it's still, you know, it's keeping us warm. It is going to, you know, mean that we don't breathe as easily, so we might notice our stamina not coming back as fast, but I feel like in general, to avoid that cold right now, the scarf is a good call. Right, now I know this is probably going to be a controversial call, but we are going to take all of our food out of the hole that we have down here at the moment. Main reason being, it's colder outside right now. So what I want to try and do is have something like a root cellar on the surface so that we can, in summer, drop things into it, but during winter, just pull it out because, the surface is much colder than it is down here right now. I'm not sure if we can get anything back from the root cellar. I'll have a quick look at that. Yeah, we can't deconstruct anything here. We could maybe just try and bash it to get some things back, but at the same time, maybe it's good for us to have that down here still. Yeah, we'll leave it for now. Oh, and I thought I'd point out that I did actually try to destroy the fireplace right at the very start of today's episode, but it just didn't work. We don't have the strength necessary with our pick to be able to break it, so yeah, that ain't happening. Right, so our food that is out here at the moment, if we drag this across with everything else, we should have a lot here that is frozen still. Yeah, the stuff that's rotten, we're gonna want to get rid of because we don't want that hanging around there. That rotten tallow though, we still might be able to turn that into oil. I'll take the fat for sure, and that rotten tallow, we'll bring that back inside to see if we can work with it. But for the most part, this stuff is going to last a lot longer out here. The next project that I want to try and work on for flour is going to be making a windmill. So for that, it is placing a windmill. Do we have the necessary knowledge to make one? Indeed, we do. Now we need to have metal sawing of 2, which is important. We do actually need that for other things as well. Having a hacksaw will allow us to make chunks from the lumps of steel. We are actually going to need small metal sheets for this as well. Okay, it's definitely doable, but it is a big project. Cool, I'm on board with that. And hey, look at that, we can even attack people with this windmill. Not that we would want to. Also, yeah, let's get that charcoal out of there as well, just while I have it on the mind. Damn, okay, we actually have everything we need to be able to make a hacksaw right now. Okay, let's start putting this thing together. Oh, we're struggling towards the end here, extremely wary. I know we're close, we're at 94%, but it's going to be worth us stopping at that point, just because extreme wariness really screws with us. It doesn't mean that we can't craft. We can still do things that don't make us as wary. Activity level none for making lamp oil. So yeah, that is something that we can do. Let's try and make 2,500 lots of lamp oil. We should still have somewhere to store it, or at the very least, it will tell us we can't store it. We can use the mutant tallow that's nearby. And yeah, what's great about that is it actually makes it so that our wariness goes down because it takes us next to nothing to do this. Okay, so we can actually see the literage that we get from this. So we could store them in 2 of our sealed stomachs. Yeah, let's do that. And that means that we've got a lot of oil for this lamp now. So we can pretty much almost always have it on. I'm going to use the candle for now because we've gone ahead and made it. But we can always make more of those as well. Oh! And our applied science skill has gone up. Now, I believe it probably was at 4 before. Yeah, I'm assuming that's the case. Maybe not. No, we've got new recipes. Yeah, we do. Okay, makeshift fungicide gas. Black gunpowder? We can make gunpowder now. Okay, I think we might have had a recipe for gunpowder before. Possibly. But we've got another recipe for gunpowder now. Saltpeter, sulfur, and charcoal. Under chem, yeah, a lot of new chems. Okay, yeah, we can make saltpeter now, which as we know is part of the process of us making gunpowder, bleach, ethanol, a whole heap of stuff. Frickin' thermite. And under other, ooh, okay, copper pot. Now that, okay, I got a little bit too excited then. It is a chemical making quality of 1. In saying that though, I'm not sure if some of our other things have that same quality to them. Getting chemical making quality 2 is really difficult though, unfortunately. Because that, we need to have an actual chemistry set, and there's lots of things that we need to be able to make that. Let's have a look. The sun is still up, so we could just process more of our fat. Or alternatively, we could look at just making some thread. All that stuff really doesn't take too much in the way of energy to do. Yeah, let's go and turn a whole heap of our sinew into short strings for now. Damn, that's just so fast. And all of those into threads, thank you. Now there is a chance that we can fail at that, but it's so quick that, yeah, we get it done anyway. You know what? Another lightweight thing that we can do is just start to try and process some of the ores that we have, like the native gold. We can go and turn that into just usable gold. Not taking too long at all to do that. Okay, I was just looking to see about making some more tin powder because yeah, we've got some cassiterite around. Also, just this. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, let's make some tin powder for ourselves here. We will need to add some more charges to our rock forge to be able to do that. That's not a problem. We'll go grab some more charcoal from out here. All right, let's make this powder. There we go. And we are actually tired at this stage. Good to see. How's this fire looking? 5 hours, so we should probably chuck a log in to stay nice and warm throughout the night tonight. I believe we should still be getting some warmth on our mouth. That's good. Yet again, it's the feet that are cold, and we could actually just try and make 2 pairs of socks and wear them. I might have a look at doing that tomorrow first thing. Let's snuff out this candle, which does actually seem to last for a really long time. Like it might last longer than the oil lamp. Yeah, could be worth having some of them around. For now though, let's call it a day. Okay, no cold that night. Excellent. Let's go drink some of that nice cold water to get hydrated, and we'll pop outside to have a snack on some of the frozen yet delicious dehydrated meat that's here. And it's great to see that it is indeed frozen. Delicious icy meat to start the day, eh, Hilma? Okay, let's use this candle yet again, and right, socks. Let's have a look at them. So for us to make some socks here, we are going to need some more of the cotton sheets, so 22 of them. Okay, let's have a look at that then. 22 cotton sheets, we can make those easy enough, and it only uses 110 of the thread that we've got. Done, just like that. And we'll have a look at just whipping up those socks. It's going to take an hour, that's okay. Let's just use one sinew. There we go. And now we can chuck those socks on. We've got 2 pairs of socks on, which are of course going to make our feet a little bit more encumbered. They really don't seem to help that much with the warmth though. Yeah, unfortunate as it is. It might just have to be that we sacrifice some of our pelts to have some, good looking boots. For now, that's going to mean that our feet are a little bit warmer, but I think long term, we are going to have a look at those fur boots. 7 fur pelts. Ooh, that's a lot. Okay, well, we're going to keep that in our mind. While we are around home here, it's not going to be that much of a problem for us though. So let's focus back onto making our hacksaw, eh? And just a little bit more work to get that done. We now have ourselves that hacksaw. Right, so the next tool that we're going to need for this before anything else is a screwdriver, which we don't have one of those yet. So interestingly enough, we can actually make a screwdriver set, which gives us fine screw driving. Do we want that? Either way, we're going to be using 2 chunks of steel, which are the only 2 that we have. This only takes 2 minutes to make, which is great, but I feel like going for the set might be a better option for us in the long run because we'll have that fine screwing for later. Okay, all right. Let's use that steel for now. And done. Just like that, we've got a screwdriver set. We're very hungry, so we could probably do with a little bit of a snack as we pop outside. Have some nice frozen blackberries there, and you know what? Some more dehydrated meat. Don't worry, cattails, I haven't forgotten about you. We are going to harvest you. We just don't need you right this second. Right, so we now have the tools that we need to make a windmill. The next big thing for us are going to be those metal sheets. Everything else we can make without too much trouble. We are going to have a long rope. We are going to have some chunks of steel, a funnel of some kind, some pipes, and a decent amount of nails. For us to make a metal sheet, it is just hammering out some steel. So what we are most certainly going to need now is more steel. And as we know, there are a number of different ways that we can get that. We can try to harvest bog iron, but it takes 5 hours for us to harvest that bog iron. And we still have a cave up here that we have taken resources from, but with all those trees that are around there, we could end up getting a lot more if we end up crunching down some of those walls, which is definitely what we want to do. But, and that's the but, for us to go out there in winter, we are going to need to be properly protected, and that's going to mean having the necessary boots to be able to survive in the cold. So we know that we need more pelts. We're going to have to go out there. We're going to have to go hunting. So with that in mind, I'm going to prepare for a little bit of an outing here. We are kind of as prepared as we can be with what we are wearing. We'll definitely be bringing along the cloak with us. And as much as I would want to wear the helmet, we're going to have to stick with our gambeson hood and balaclava because that's just going to keep us warmer. I think we might actually be able to make a helmet liner as well, which would give us even more warmth there. But right now, I think actually our head isn't too warm. No, okay, I take it back. We can only make glove liners at this stage. So, pelts. Could be small creatures, could be something big like a moose. And you know what? There is still a moose carcass out here, isn't there? And we can get some stuff from that moose. Now, we could haul the moose back with us, or we could prepare to try and butcher it in the field. And for that, we know we need a few things, a long rope being one of them. Oh, in actual fact, we do have some cured pelts here as well. So, you know what? Before we go out, let's tan some of those pelts if we can. Oh, and it looks like we just need some salt. Yeah, so maybe salt first. Or alternatively, salt water if we don't have enough in the way of salt. Oh no, we can definitely get some more salt. Okay, rock salt. Let's make some. Okay, so we need to have 6, so we can make 1 more at this stage. Sure. There we go. So we've got 1 of those going at the stage. I do know that we have some others that have been tanning, so I'll see if we can activate some of them. Yeah, lots and lots of leather hides. So I'm just going to be going A3 again and again and again as we slowly but surely roll these out. Yep, we'll be dropping them on the ground now, thanks. So that's a lot of hides, probably enough for us to be able to weave together a rope, a long rope that is. Let's have a look. Okay, so 11 hours, that's not a good option, is it? No, let's go for the one that takes us only 35 minutes for us to make. So it looks like we can use rags or we can use hides, and it does use quite a few. At this stage, I think I'd say I'd be okay with that. Let's just have a look at the rags. 150 does seem really steep. Oh yeah, no, that's definitely steep. That's still a lot of sinew even to put together 50. So, a long rope. Well, we're going to need it for the windmill, aren't we? So, yeah, let's do it. Oh, we can actually wear the long rope. I guess that's the easiest way for us to carry it. And we can store things within it as well. That's good to know. All right, so we do have, I think, everything we need. We've got the long rope, which I hope is going to help us. We've got the carving knife. We do have our fiber mat as well. And most importantly, we have ourselves a Ryan. So let's mount up on Ryan and hope, yes, yes, we can ride him through there. Okay, we're going to have to jump off to be able to close that door behind us, but I'm happy with that. Let's go and I'll give him a second before we can jump back on. Yeah, there we are. And we are going to be riding out in the direction of that corpse to begin with. So let's get a move on. Okay, and there it is. We found it without too much trouble. That's good to see. And we know that it should be in still pretty good condition. Let's just go and tie Ryan up for the time being, and let's see what we've got here. Okay, so there's a fair amount of meat here that's still frozen, and of course we do have these carcasses that remain. So we're going to go and activate the fiber mat that we've got. Deploying furniture needs to be clear. I think it's because there's blood there. Okay, I guess we'll do it behind here then. Fiber mat, there we go. Excellent. Okay, so we've got this nice corpse. We'll drag it over here and we'll see if we're going to be able to butcher it. We do have our pike in our hand at the moment. We want to go for a full butchery. So we need to have a tarp of some kind, a rope, and a tree. Yes, so we do have those things. So we should be able to do this. Wood sawing. Wood sawing, of course. Okay, look, it didn't take me that long to get out here. Ryan, we're just going to have to go back. Wood sawing. Okay. And we are back. Okay, Ryan, my lad, let's get you staying here for the time being. And we are going to butcher this moose. And yep, that's everything. We failed to harvest the raw pelt, and it might be because we did actually take everything from it beforehand. I mean, the only way I can be sure of this is if we do a full butcher here. I'm pretty sure that we did actually end up taking everything from him. Well, we've got 2 more quarters that we can work on at the moment. 23 minutes to work on those. Okay, pretty quickly we do get it done. We get some chunks of meat out of that, so that's not that bad. Still going to be useful, so we'll see what we are actually going to be able to take back with us. Unfortunately though, no pelts. Okay. So Ryan definitely does seem to have some limitations, unfortunately, in terms of what we can give him, because stuff is apparently just too heavy for him to carry. Volume isn't an issue. It's the weight that's a problem. I've tried to send him just 50 of the frozen meat. I'm going to try 30 now and see if that works. 30 is still too much for him. What about 20? How about that? Same deal. 20 is too much. Just 10 pieces of meat? How does that look like then? 10 is too much. I really struggle to believe that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and drop let's say 56 of the chunks of meat on the ground, because it might always be trying to take the whole lot of it, because like we can carry this much fine and be okay. So let's see, try that again. Still too heavy. That is unbelievable. What items are in your bag right now? That was removing the saddlebags. Let's put the saddlebags back on. Yeah, I gotta say I'm quite disappointed in that. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna take some sinew, But unfortunately, the meat, we're just going to have to leave here. I will keep the note here so that we know that we can come back for it. But yeah, that's definitely very, very disappointing. So what we're going to have to do with Ryan is we are going to have to try and get like a cart situation sorted because he can't carry any extra weight on him. Like, I'm pretty sure that Hilma weighs more than most of... I mean, we can't see what her actual weight is, but yeah, that's weird. That's very weird. Well, alas, 'tis what it is. But for now, we are going to do some roaming. Just roaming around the woods to see if I can track down some pelted creatures. That would be wonderful. Be it coyotes or mountain lions or whatever. Mammals are what we are after. So we'll do our best. We'll keep an eye on that cold because, yeah, right now our hands are also quite cold. You know what? We might need some fur mitts. So, Hilma, let's get a move on, eh? Oh, okay. What? Zap Radigan? I'm sorry, what? What? Okay, so we got two creatures here. A big rat. This is a rat-sized cat, snuffles along the ground, looking for something to eat, hisses at anything that comes close to it, bearing its sizable teeth. And there's also Zap Radigan. This cat-sized albino mouse sparks randomly whenever anything approaches it. Okay, and it's an electrified rat. I don't know how much we would get from them. I also feel like, the Ankylosaurus is slapping these rats. I'm tempted to try and get involved here, but then again, the Ankylosaurus is also aggressive. I don't know how this is going to go. We could just wait and see, right? I mean, there's another rat over here, but are they zombified? They might be. You know what? Yeah, we're just gonna watch this from a distance. We have enough speed to move away. Yeah. I mean, I'm occasionally seeing blood drop, but they do not seem to be able to get through this thing's hide, like at all. It's the one that's bleeding though. They really haven't taken that much damage at all. Oh boy, you know what? It kind of keeps on coming towards us, so I feel like we're gonna have to get involved in some capacity here. I really don't want Ryan to get involved though, so we're gonna ask him to hang back. We are going to quickly try and see if we can drop the long rope with the wood saw because I do not care for it at all. Okay. All right, so let's start moving around. Oh, okay. Zap Radigan's still alive, but the other rat's dead. That's good. So let's start to run to the side. And I want to try and see if we can hit this rat. Huh? Okay. Oh, we can hit it from here. Let's try, huh? Mistake. We were trying to help you, buddy. We were trying to help you. Oh, boy. The Ankylosaurus took offense to us running towards it, and Hilma was thrown back through the air. Everything hurts. We're not bleeding, but man, that was some serious bludgeoning damage. Okay, so, you know what? We don't mess with it. We maybe just let them fight among themselves, and if we're lucky, we'll go take that big rat corpse and see if we can do something with it. So yeah, let's just chuck back on the long rope for now. We're in distressing pain. I'm not surprised. Let's go jump back onto Ryan, and we'll just try and play this nice and casual. There you go. The Ankylosaurus won. Now we are a lot faster than it, so I'm going to lead it a little bit up towards the north. It isn't likely to die. So yeah, we're just going to go around like this. We've broken its line of sight. It's going to carry on this way for a ways. And we're just going to go right around. Right, there's the two corpses. Okay, the Ankylosaurus is still around, but as you can see, it is a little bit further up towards the north. I think as long as we can try and play this nice and easy. Okay, it's not aware of us right now. That's good. I want to try and keep it that way if we can. So the only way this is going to work is jumping off of Ryan and just trying to get these corpses away from here for now. It might actually have chilled out. Let's see, because it's not hostile at the moment. It's currently fleeing. Okay, that works for us. So let's grab these two corpses. I have no idea how they're going to work out for us. We're going to drop down this fiber mat over here. We might not even need to do the kind of full butchery with the other stuff here. Get Ryan to just chill out for now, because that black rat is going to be causing a little bit of strife. Oh, okay, and us too. Right, well, we are going to be quite off balance here, but I think we should be able to handle a single rat, right? Yeah, we attack in its general direction. Let's keep that up. A few strikes here. Our encumbrance is really going to be throwing us off. You know what? Let's just go and drop that off for now. Rat? Oh, you're gone. You're long gone, eh? Yeah, get out of here. Right, okay, back to this. Let's see. Zap rat again. Yeah, butcher everything, and we will go for a full butchery. And hope... Okay, we did actually get some pelts out of that. We failed to get some sinew, which sucks. But pelt is what we are after. And how much? Only 2, so they're not that big. And we should be able to put these pelts onto Ryan without too much trouble. Raw pelts. There we go. They fit into the saddlebag. Wonderful. Let's grab our fiber mat back, and we'll take the long rope, and we'll just wear that long rope. So we probably could have just skinned them. Really, I don't think we were going to get much, if anything else, out of them. So yeah, the full butchery is going to be useful on creatures where you can't skin, like insects, if we want to try and get sinew and stuff like that. And sinew definitely can be worth it on the bigger creatures, like the giant rattlesnake might have some sinew. But for now, yeah, we got some pelts from that. Nowhere near as much as I would like, but we'll head back, giving that Ankylosaurus a bit of room. We'll cure them, and I think that might actually be enough for us to get at least one other tanned one. We'll see. And something that we are 100% going to need to do is make some bandages. It's something that I've been neglecting for too long now. All right, Ryan, you're going to be nice and comfy here still, aren't you? Okay, there we go. We'll tie you up there, close this up behind us, drop off that pike, and you know what? Let's use some cattail jelly, which right now is frozen, so we can't use it. That's okay. That's okay. We will recover all the same, I'm sure. Let's grab those pelts back. Thank you, my lad. And we'll make 2 cured pelts. And yes, that indeed is going to be enough to get another tanning fur pelt off. Good to see it. There we go. Yet another, and I think we might be able to roll out the other one we did. No, I stand corrected. We're not ready. Okay, so going back to the bandage side of things, I wouldn't mind having at least some birch bark bandages. We've got enough birch bark going around at the moment. It's better than nothing when it comes to stopping bleeding, so we'll have those as a kind of backup thing for us, using some of our sinew. And so for the actual makeshift ones, we can see that these have great effect on bleeding. Even though it's poor quality, it's got a much better chance to stop bleeding, so we should make some rags and make at least 5 of those. So we'll make our 5 rags, we'll use that sinew that we got, and we'll put together some makeshift bandages. There we go. So now if we do start bleeding out in the wild, we have options. Well, I think that fight was another example of, while the pike is awesome and all, we will want to be using that sling of ours still, because it does great damage. And going off of that, it might be worth us having a stone pouch. It does get attached to the legs. That's okay. We've got one sheath on one leg. The stone pouch could theoretically go on the other. We would need to have a fair few cotton sheets, but that's okay. It really doesn't use that much of our threads for us to make it. And this is also going to give us some fabric waterproofing skill. Let's put together this little pouch of ours, and I'll see what's going to be the best method for us. Yeah, we'll use that sinew and the new stuff that we got. And there we are. A fair bit of time went into making that thing, but we're going to chuck it on. Looks like the sun has actually set at this stage, but we've got a little pouch on our left-hand side now. Oh, the ankle sheath is also on the left. We might want to change sides, otherwise our left leg is going to be just a lot more encumbered than our right leg, which is kind of what we're looking at the moment. So if we just go change sides, we'll have this ankle sheath just on our right-hand side, and it's a little bit more balanced there. Our left leg is definitely more encumbered than the right, but yeah, with the feet and all the rest, it kind of balances out a little bit. It looks like we can fit 10 rocks in there, which, that's okay. I'm good with that. That's a fair amount of them. We get them back when we use them as well, so I will be looking forward to using that in hunting again. And while I love our pike, it is fantastic, it might be worth having something that we could use a spear strap with. So yeah, we could look at using something like the dory spear, which is kind of, it's meant to go with the sword. Like the dory does a little bit more damage than the bronze spear, and the steel spear is a little bit faster, and that little bit of speed might make all the difference. And you know what? The steel spear does give us bladesmithing skill at the same time, so I think that's what I'm going to make. But Legionnaires, Watchers, that is going to be in the next episode. Today, Hilma got thrown about and did, well, more than a little bit of a spring clean. Yeah, and when we've got stuff like this, more often than not, we're going to chuck it in the fire because, sure, there are things that we could use the drop-ins for, but Ryan's producing a fair amount of them. I'm sure they make a decent fuel for the fire. The smell, maybe not so great, but I am happy with how things are looking in here. It's cozy, and it has room for expansion as well. The area that Ryan is in at the moment, we could always use that for mass storage for a large amount of rocks and soil and all the rest. But having things organized like this makes it a lot easier for me as well. Just knowing exactly where I'm going to be able to find things, and it allows us to keep a close eye on our stocks. As we could tell from our outings today, and from the fact that we are right in the heart of winter, it would be nice to have some fur boots and fur gloves specifically for these colder months. Even going into spring, it is going to be quite cold at the start. So if we can take down some big pelted creatures, I would certainly be happy. And heck, while we're out there, if we find another spider or two, that sinew will be very welcome. Now that we do have most of Hilma's home in order, I would like to continue our focus on the windmill. But the other projects that I have in mind, and things that might even end up coming before the windmill, is something as close to a cart as we can get. Yes, it seems that Ryan does struggle to just carry things on him, but when it comes to horsepower, I think he still will be able to provide a fair amount of that. And so that's my plan. Whether or not it'll work, we'll find that out together. That's part of the fun of a series like this, is overcoming the hurdles that appear from living out in the woods, away from everything else. And so, Legionnaires, I ask you, if you enjoyed today's episode, please consider leaving a comment or a like to let me know if you enjoyed the show. As always, it really helps the continuation of a series like this. And those of you who are all still watching now, both in the present, the past, and the future, well, maybe not the past, I thank you very much for sticking with me and Hilma as we continue to survive together. For now, I have been Rycon. You have all been awesome. And until next time, stay tuned. Finally, I would like to extend a great big thank you to the lovely Legionnaires on Patreon who continue to make content like this possible. If you too would like to join the Legion and support the channel, you can find the relevant information down below.